There's something I want to discuss on my channel tonight that pertains to the relationship between the Bahamas and Jamaica. Okay, uh, most recently, the Bahamas was the host of the CARIFTA Games of 2023, and we saw a very spirited competition between all of the young athletes. The Bahamas has done a very splendid job of cultivating a great group of talented individuals, and we found that even as a small country, the Bahamas has done exceptionally well in the CARIFTA Games. All right. Also in attendance was Jamaica, who had a stellar performance throughout the games. Jamaica has racked up the most gold medals, but in the overall tally, Jamaica is number one and Bahamas is number two in terms of the total amount of medals. I think on a per capita level, the Bahamas obviously would be number one when you consider the scale of our country versus the larger population. But be that as it may, I think all of these talented individuals deserve applause. It was a display of black excellence. All of these were black countries. There were also athletes of mixed race heritage. There were also Caucasian and Indian representatives because of the diversity of each of these countries. But I was on a live stream watching the games and I found that there was some very harmful rhetoric being exchanged between Bahamian and Jamaican viewers. People that were watching this live stream were having a debate in the comment section, and this debate veered into xenophobia. Okay, people had a lot of slanderous things to say about the Bahamas. People had a lot of slanderous things to say about Jamaica. And this thing really emerged out of some, just like the general trash talking, where some people were just celebrating the victories of their respective countrymen and women, and suddenly these undercurrents of hatred and animosity began to surface. People said many disparaging things about Jamaicans, many disparaging things about Bahamians, right? And this usually takes place in situations where there's like a lot of emotion. People would let you know what they really think when things are very emotional. I happen to think that the hate speech is uncalled for. We all are of common origins. We have a similar heritage. We all arrived here in the hull of slave ships. So I don't think we need to let our conversation be one of malice. We should have a conversation of solidarity rather than trying to actually harm each other with words and with accusations, and with labels. I was very disheartened to see people who come from one common ancestry would let our new nationalities get the best of us. Ultimately, we have all embraced the new national identity that we have taken upon ourselves in the post-plantation era. Okay, so we've moved from the status of property in this land to actually being the owners and operators of these countries and these societies. But ultimately, I think we should always remember our heritage. It should be the thing that anchors us in geopolitical affairs. You know, people seem like they literally hate each other. And I'm referring to the Bahamas and Jamaica conversation. I saw one comment from a brother from Jamaica who actually accused the Bahamas of using voodoo on the athletes from Jamaica to cause them to lose. Persons believe that because the Bahamas was hosting the CARIFTA games, that the Bahamas was trying to give itself an unfair advantage. Despite the fact that there were international judges, officials, also observers who were there to ensure that there was no unfair bias towards any country. But we just sometimes come up with these irrational ideas about each other, and I think there's room in the world for all of us. I don't think we need to compete for significance. I think what we should try to do is help each other and work together in solidarity so that we can all be prosperous in our societies. But to think that we just have this innate hatred for each other, or to think that persons have these malicious motives, is really psychotic. I don't think any of us are in position to disenfranchise the next person. Okay, I don't think the Bahamas can disenfranchise Jamaica. I don't think Jamaica can disenfranchise the Bahamas. They look at all of our countries as being the third world. So